Went through a few emails this weekend.
Going back to
September
What
of last
possessed
year.
you?
Well, I don't like for them. What happens to me is I'll get a lot of emails in a day, and I'll answer the ones that I think are really pressing, and then they move off the screen, and I don't see them anymore, and then I'll think, well, I'll get to them this weekend. But the problem was for the past 6 months, I've had football on the weekends. Plus, let's face it, pickleball is cutting into my time now, where 2 or 3 hours I used to spend just doodling around the computer.
In the gymnasium.
Now I'm outside doing that, you know.
you're an active senior.
I'm not. I don't.
Wow.
Let me.
Just to put it out like that.
I don't want to.
We'll have to start buying you that
Well,
special.
what? I didn't make up the term. You are.
Special dog food.
You should be doing one of those commercials.
I'm not an.
Where they're kayaking and.
I am not an active senior.
Well, what are you?
I'm an athlete. I'm an athlete. I'm a vibrant athlete.
With an eating disorder.
Active. And I just read, this is part of that health report. This is the part you won't like, Dave. But it said, if you want to live a long, long time, get outside. The key is be outside, be active as much as you can. I mean, that goes without saying, probably. You know, if you're outside, you're active. But the point is that at my time that I used to spend sitting there at a desk or on a couch looking at emails, now I'm pickling. It's just a fact. So I got behind. I had thousands of them. And dating back to September of last year, I can see the demarcation. That's where I stopped really looking at
How far did you get?
Over halfway done. I'm into January now. January or February. And there were apparently a couple of things. Oh, this was in September of last year. I talked about theme parks letting you through with a fast pass option. We were talking about the difference between SeaWorld or Dollywood, where I've been, where you can pay an extra price to just get to the front of every line, versus Disney World, where you can do something similar, but you only get 2 rides per day, and you have to be there between, let's say, noon and 1 to do it. You know, it's much more restrictive. You have to. Now, at Dollywood, you want to ride the same roller coaster over and over and just get right to the front of the line, you can do it. At Disney World, you can't. So a P1 listener said, I'm just going to say it, these theme parks are setting a terrible example for kids by selling fast passes at all. The message is, if you're rich, you can skip the rules.
Yeah, well.
You decided to print that one?
I took offense to that. I was like, wait a minute. What?
Well, he's talking right to you.
He says if you're rich, you can bypass the rules by buying your way to the front of the line.
God, yes.
Yeah. Isn't that the American dream?
Since the beginning of time, really.
These theme parks are making that and are normalizing that, and they're making that a way of life.
One of life's privileges is walking past people waiting in those lines when you have a fast pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See you, pores.
Yeah.
Who do you think had the best seats at the hangings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wealthy. The town fathers.
Yeah, the top hats were always in the front.
Got right up to the front. But, and I mentioned, this is probably when I mentioned that, when we went to SeaWorld, we kept riding the same roller coaster over and over again, my daughter and I. So we just right to the front, right to the front. And one woman who we passed at least 3 times said, hey, what gives? How come they get to go to the front? And a SeaWorld employee said they purchased.
It's a good program. You should look into it.
Quiet down, you old poor thing.
Later, they actually get to kill a dolphin. I mean, we still do that. We just we built more coasters to cover up the dolphin bodies, and you know.
Yeah, we'll sit there and watch as the whales cry, and we kill dolphins.
Well, it's nicer than it used to be. They probably would have gone back in the 1800s and hit that woman.
Yeah. Quiet. Don't say anything about it. Well, this is a P1 who wanted to remain anonymous. I'm just going to put it out there. That's a terrible example of children. You're letting
Those companies don't care.
Children skip the lines and flaunt the rules.
Don't matter.
It is kind of, I mean, I'm of a different generation, but, you could go back in my day. You could go to a park and not have to plan it out 6 months in advance.
True.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
I mean, if you don't do it, it's almost like you're penalized and you don't really get to visit the park.
It's absolutely true.
I remember Disney.
So much work.
Before Fast Pass. I mean, that's when it going. And then it became Fast Pass. I remember when they introduced it, it was kind of like, so what is this? And then it became like
every ride?
Yeah, and it was like you picked a time, and that was okay. And then it became like, now you have to have it. If you don't have 3 fast pass is picked out, you're
not going to ride.
Yeah,
them.
you're not going to ride. Period.
I mean, the lines at some of those rides are 3 to 4 hours long in the peak times.
I think Disney. I could get this wrong. I think they initially started it too as a way to get people to stay on their resorts, because if you stayed at a Disney resort, you got 3 fast passes a day to pick.
Oh, just for free?
Yeah,
just
for staying there. It was like, hey, here's a little perk for staying on a Disney resort.
This may be an impossible question to answer, but I'll ask it anyway. You guys are, Kelly and Big, you guys know more about Disney, I think, than Dave and myself. On any given day, spring, summer day at Disney, what's the percentage of people who are there who stay on the property? You know what I mean? Who stay on Disney hotel properties?
That's a good question. I'd say 30%.
Well, less than half?
I think it's less than half.
Yeah, I mean, because the parking lots fill up. So
Okay.
I think it's less than half, but we do, and it's more expensive to stay there, but you get those certain perks.
Logistics are easier.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Convenience. And you get, now they do this to the magic hours. If you stay on Disney property, it'll open at 8 a.m. for you instead of 9 a.m. for everybody else or 10 a.m. for everybody else.
For the poors. For the poors.
I don't want to couch it like that. I don't want to say
you're
it.
driving
like
it home.
Well, I don't want to say it like that, and I don't agree with the gentleman who wrote this email who paints you into a corner of just because you pay for fast passes or Disney property. It doesn't mean you're rich. It doesn't mean,
Is that right?
That doesn't.
No, and it doesn't mean that you're putting it in the face of those that are waiting in line. I always try to be really friendly to the people as I'm streaming by them and say,
Wait till you get on this ride. It's amazing.
Are you fist bumping them like an NBA player going into the locker room?
darn,
here, have a sip of my water. You look like you're going to pass out.
that ride, that Avatar ride is, I mean, the wait was 4 hours.
Yeah.
4 hours. Even with the fast pass, you're waiting. Golly.
I wouldn't do it.
Oh, no, who would?
I mean, I understand
No
why
way.
y'all do it, but I wouldn't do it.
No way. Not me. I don't get enough. I would
Is that
not wait
fixable,
4 hours.
or is that just the way it is going to be until eternity?
I think-
I mean, 'cause
well-
Disney's not going to cut down on the number of guests through the park, right? I know they have a max.
I think that ride will become, that was a very popular ride because it was new, and there's a Star Wars ride the same way. I think over time it goes to lesser. Like Space Mountain, probably an hour and a half to 2, but not 4.
As long as people are willing to do it, they're going to sell the tickets.
Yeah,
Of course.
I guess.
It's going to keep on going.
But I mean, even with a fast pass at that Avatar line, I waited as much as 12 to 15 minutes.
Oh, my God. No, you did not.
Just stood there and waited. Billy knows something about now. Since I've been, they have changed the fast pass. Billy, go ahead. You have a comment on that.
Yeah, so I know about this right now. My family, we're going down to Disney in June. So you have to buy this thing called a Disney Genie Plus. And so you can book a ride starting out at 7 o'clock in the morning. And then after you get that ride, that first ride, you cannot book another ride till you ride it, or 2 hours go past since the booking.
Oh, I see. So it makes you only have one to start the day, and then you wait. Because we have been in a situation where we were racing over there to get the fast pass to work. Okay, I see. So they're limiting it even more on the fast passes.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Billy. I had heard something about that. Genie Plus.
What's the most expensive level? Isn't there like a black diamond that you can buy for thousands of dollars per person or something?
There is. There's like
the Gwyneth Paltrow level and
that's
J-Lo level.
Yeah.
I don't think you can buy that. I think that's when they know you're that level
The super
of
VIP.
celebrity. Yeah, that's where they take you through like the back door, and
That's right.
you have somebody with you.
You don't even see. There is a
No.
way to have somebody with you to take you to the front of every line, but you're talking about a $25,000 day at a park.
That's how the Kardashians would do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, oh yeah. I don't even think that's like that's not even something you can call up and buy. I think that's
You've got to be that
offered
level
by-
of celebrity.
Yeah.
That's when they invite you.
Well, and sometimes I think they even close a park. Somebody told me once when I was standing there waiting for some fireworks to start that they were there with Michael Jackson once, and they cleared. I mean, the Magic Kingdom was closed one day for Michael Jackson. He was there, and everybody else just had to be.
It's
out.
ridiculous.
It was Michael Jackson.
fast pass.
And
Have a fast pass.
Blanket was with him,
Yeah.
and the kids,
Yeah.
were there. Just a normal everyday family.
Yeah.
Blanket a hat.
And
Get Paris and Mickey ears.
Is it? It's Paris, Blanket, and Prince
and-
Michael?
yeah,
Or
Prince Michael,
Michael.
yeah.
Yeah, Prince. He took them all
But
in there.
Blanket's name is Prince too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both Prince.
both named Prince.
Yeah.
And but they just call Blanket.
Yeah.
And he took the whole gang,
I want to ride Mr. Toads.
and they
I'm sorry, sir, it's gone.
Think they went to the fudgery?
they went.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some fudge, and Michael.
Well, they probably get 5 hours for
got-
$100 grand.
Who knows? I would bet more than that because you're making
$250.
Well, you're making more than $100,000 with a full part in 5 hours, wouldn't you think?
Take me to the Hall of Presidents.
I want to see Buchanan.